Hi folks, it's Gene here. I'm at McGovern Centennial Gardens in Houston, Texas. We're standing under the Mount Oak, so named because of its proximity to the mountain, which is the centerpiece of the garden. And the question is, should I remove rubbing branches? This is a pretty significant rubbing branch right here. This was a rubbing branch, okay? And I think it's important to take a step backwards and ask oneself what the objectives are. In this particular case, the objective is to provide overhead clearance for foot traffic along this decomposed granite path. So to that end, we raised the branches here, and in one case, we put in a vertical support beam, and in some other cases, we put in some cables. There's a cable here. There's another cable here.
What? Did I? No, I didn't. This is how fast I went.
And another cable here. Okay, so I believe that a lot of trees have too much foliage unnecessarily removed from them for the mere sake of removing conflicting branches. First of all, I think it's important to know your species. Trees are not homogeneous units, as you know. And if you're working with the live oak, for example, one of the most decay-resistant hardwoods in the North American continent, then do you really need to worry about rubbing branches, a wound that never heals, and how much it'll get infected? Well, I don't think you need to, all right? There are a lot of trees that become infected. A wound becomes infected a lot more easily than a live oak. And so if the objective is to provide clearance so that people can walk under it without needing stitches on their heads, and if removing the branch doesn't achieve that objective, then it's simple. Leave it intact. Now in the case of this one, we took some weight off of it and it bounced up and now it's no longer rubbing. In the case of this one, we said, let's go back to our objectives. If removing this branch doesn't help achieve the objective of providing clearance to passers-by, then we leave it intact. So, no, I reject the all too common practice amongst tree care professionals out there of removing conflicting branches. You know, you're gonna have a lion-tailed tree, you're gonna have a stripped out tree, you're gonna have too much foliage removed, and you've moved away from your goals, your objectives. So be clear on your objectives and never forget them. Because once your objectives have been clearly identified, then don't remove any more foliage than is absolutely necessary in order to achieve that objective. And don't remove a branch just because it's conflicting or rubbing. These trees grow, they get thick and they get dense, and branches are going to grow together. It doesn't necessarily mean something needs to be done. So I reject this removing rubbing branches just because they're touching one another. Thank you. Feel free to leave any remarks in the comment section. Have a great day.